A young doctor gets banned from practicing medicine, but he keeps doing it. After years of effort, he finally succeeds in discovering a rare cure, but before he can tell others, his work gets stolen. Kunlun is a place located among mountains and seas with thousands of stunning islands. 2 of them are known as the medical islands. Patients travel thousands of miles to find treatment for their disease in the Kunlun hospital that lies in the bigger island, while the smaller islands are mostly composed of houses and markets. These islands offer first-rate medical treatment, and there isn't any sickness that can't be treated here, except for one disease that haunted the masses for centuries. It is the dark spirits. All that doctors can do about it is to extract the dark spirit and seal it in a safe place underground. But this treatment leaves the patient drained out of energy and affects their appearance. All doctors are helpless before the evil disease except for one. He is Bai Ze. He has refused to give up against the dark spirit and dedicated his life to find a cure. In this attempt, he has neglected his other patients. Moreover, he experiments his new techniques on the patients without thinking about the consequences. Bai Ze is a disciple of the chief of hospital, but he doesn't bother to ask for permission before his experiments. Bai Ze gets a dark spirit case and excitedly tries his new technique. The chief is looking for, and Bai Ze's classmate Huo Ji tries to distract him. The chief finds Bai Ze anyway, and gets shocked to see the extreme treatment he is practicing. Fortunately, his treatment works and the patient is cured. Huo Ji is really impressed and admires his friend. In response, Bai Ze keeps saying that he's the greatest doctor in the world. Before the chief can question them, an emergency is announced. The dark spirits have escaped from the underground storage. The 4 senior doctors try to stop the spirits but fail. The chief tells Huo Ji and Bai Ze to evacuate the patients, but Bai Ze wants to destroy the spirits. The chief explains that the spirits are indestructible, but Bai Ze doesn't listen and exhibits his 5-element mantra. At first, the spirits seem to be defeated, but the next moment they become even stronger. Bai Ze has provoked them. He still wants to continue his risky spell, but the chief orders him to stop. The magical fluid of the sea, called the weak water, suddenly rises upward and forms rain. It calms down the spirits, but Kunlun Hospital is completely destroyed already. Due to Bai Ze's disobedience and ignorance, he is thrown out of the hospital and banned from practicing medicine. He is not even allowed to continue his research on the dark spirit. 7 years have passed. Everyone has left the bigger island, and a new hospital has been constructed on the smaller island. The chief has gone on an unknown journey, and the hospital is under the control of Huo Ji. Patients still suffer from dark spirit possessions, but now the extracted spirits are thrown in the sea instead of getting stored underground. Every day, hundreds of patients come to the hospital. Some have a headache, while some have stomach issues. But the worst are the ones affected by dark spirits. One such patient is Kushan Shen. He changes his mind about getting treated and he tries running away. The guards rush to catch him, but he gets abducted by someone else. It's no other than Bai Ze. He has continued his research in secret, but needs a patient to experiment. He takes Kushan Shen to a luxurious hospital and tells him that he is the greatest doctor who can save his life. Kushan Shen gets convinced and lets Bai Ze treat him. Bai Ze uses his 5-element mantra and it cures Kushan Shen without affecting his appearance. Suddenly, the guards and their head Bifeng reach there to find the escaped patient. Bai Ze's luxurious hospital was just an illusion that disappeared soon, leaving behind his old house. Bifeng accuses Bai Ze of illegally practicing medicine and orders the guards to catch him. Bai Ze escapes from the window and runs away with all his might. The guards spread around the town to look for him while Bai Ze hides inside a wine pot. He spots Huo Ji nearby and pulls him inside too. Bifeng investigates the wine pots, but he misses the one in which Bai Ze is hiding after. After he leaves, Bai Ze gets out and greets Huo Ji properly. He tells him about his discovery and wants to present it in the Kunlun hospital. Huo Ji tells Bai Ze that before leaving, the chief had ordered the seniors to not let him enter. The election of a new chief will be held soon, and it will be the best time for Bai Ze to show his discovery. Till then, Bai Ze can continue his research with the help of the dark spirit sample Huo Ji brought. Bai Ze takes the sample and leaves to prepare for the big event. To celebrate his success, Bai Ze goes straight to the bar. He even offers to pay for the drinks for all the customers, and he asks them to call him the greatest doctor in the world. The owner of the bar, and Bai Ze's old friend Ju Wei, is delighted to see him again and asks more about his success. Suddenly, another customer mocks Bai Ze and calls him a fraud. Bai Ze gets triggered and starts fighting. They damage the bar and make Ju Wei angry. She shows her nighttails and threatens everyone to leave immediately. A kid named Yi still doesn't leave and asks Bai Ze to treat him. Yi is a qilin, a type of demon with horns, but his horn is not growing. Bai Ze tells the kid he needs a herb called Jiao Huan from Bigger Island to cure him. as the island is banned, so he can't be cured. Saying this, Bai Ze throws the kid out of the bar. Meanwhile, Huo tries to convince the seniors to elect a new chief. He has developed a magical barrier, but it can only defend them. They need someone to eliminate the dark spirit. The weak water can't hold the spirits much longer. After a few days, the elections take place. Huo explains the rules to the audience. Anyone who can eliminate the dark spirit will be selected as the next chief of Kunlun Hospital. Many candidates try their best, but all of them eventually fail. Afterward, Bai Ze enters the ceremony. Everyone gets angry to see him because his last attempt affected many lives. Huo takes his friend's side and reminds the audience that anyone can participate in the competition. Before Bai Ze can start, Huo also wants to try eliminating the spirit. He brings his 5 tortoise shells and begins his spell, which he calls the Heavenly Thunder Mantra. It's actually Bai Ze's 5-element mantra, which Huo stole with the help of Bai Ze's disloyal assistants. It eliminates the spirit and leaves everyone in shock. Bai Ze takes out his scroll to show everyone that he is the actual discoverer, but the scroll is damaged and the mantra doesn't work. Huo also uses the sample of the dark spirit against Bai Ze and accuses him of illegal research and practice. Bai Ze is thrown in jail while Huo makes preparations to eliminate all the spirits from the weak water sea. He has the spell, but he may also need the scroll to complete the elimination. Huo asks Bai Ze to hand over the scroll, but he refuses to do so. He uses a spell to distract Huo with clones, and he escapes the prison. Bai Ze ties some lanterns around his waist and starts floating in the air. Bifong and the guards are still after him, so he heads towards the lantern bridge, which leads to the bigger island. Huo orders Bifong to bring the scroll at any cost. Bifong travels in a boat while Bai Ze jumps on the lanterns to reach the other side. Over the past years, the beautiful island has turned into a dark, deserted place. There he runs into Yi, who actually traveled to this deadly island to find Jiao Huan. They succeed in hiding from the guards, but get caught by the tree demon. Yi uses sweet treats to distract the tree demon, and they escape safely. Yi actually knows a lot about herbs and demons, but he can't find a cure to his horn. His last hope is Bai Ze, but Bai refuses to help and starts looking for a way to the seashore. After wandering for a while, they find a place with several direction stones. Yi changes the hospital sign and tricks Bai Ze to believe that it's the direction to the shore. After walking for a while, they notice a carriage passing by. Bai Ze recognizes Kushan Shen sitting in the carriage and tries talking to him. Kushan Shen doesn't reply, but lets Yi ride the carriage. They reach a small colony made in the mountain caves. It is looked after by Mrs. Fang. Her husband was also a patient of the dark spirit. After his death, she dedicated her life to looking after such patients. After the extraction of the dark spirits, the patients become weak and depressed. Their families abandon them, so Mrs. Fang brings them here. She tries her best to help the patients in coming back to life. Kushan Shen finally speaks up and shares his story. He was cured after Bai Ze's treatment, but the doctors forced him to go through the extraction process. They made a completely healthy person fall under misery and depression. After hearing this, Bai Ze starts hating the society even more. Instead of supporting his research, the doctors are being stubborn and practicing this cruel extraction treatment. Yi feels sorry for the patients and tries to cheer them up with some music and dance. Everyone participates except Kushan Shen. Yi goes to talk to him and realizes that Kushan Shen is suffering from loneliness. Yi shares his own story and explains how his fellows excluded him because he didn't have a horn. No one supported him except his father. Saying this, Yi offers to be Kushan Shen's friend. He also decides to ask Bai Ze to cure Kushan Shen. Bai Ze says that it's all the fault of the Kunlun hospital, and he doesn't have enough time to study Kushan's condition. Hearing this, Kushan Shen loses his last hope and steps out in the desert. Yi begs Bai Ze to at least cheer up Kushan with some encouraging words, but Bai Ze refuses to do so. Kushan Shen falls deeper in grief and depression and eventually turns into stone. That's what happens when a patient loses his will to live. Yi starts crying and tells Bai Ze that he can never be a good doctor because he doesn't care about others' feelings. Suddenly, Bifeng reaches there and starts looking for Bai Ze. Mrs. Fang has mended the scroll and gives it to Bai Ze so he can escape. After getting out, Bai Ze and Yi part ways. Bai Ze goes to the shore while Yi heads to the old hospital to find Jiao Huan. Yi gets attacked by the dark spirits, but Bai Ze comes back to save him. Surprisingly, his mantra doesn't work, so he uses the scroll to pull out Yi from the spirit's influence. He carries him to the old hospital and helps him look for the herb. They succeed in finding Jiao Huan, but it doesn't cure Yi's problem. The kid gets depressed and lies in a corner. Bai Ze tries cheering him up and promises to find another cure. They lie down to take a nap, but Bai Ze ends up in Yi's thoughts. He witnesses how Yi was bullied by others, and he struggled to meet his dad. After waking up, Bai Ze can't find Yi. He goes and follows the footprints to reach a bamboo forest. There's a small hut and Yi is inside. He has found another doctor, Tengni. It's the youngest disciple of the chief. He also declares Yi's condition incurable. Yi gets depressed again and the dark spirits take over his body. Bai Ze decides to use his mantra, but it isn't working anymore. Bifang reaches there and attacks Bai Ze. Tang Ni finally reveals a big secret. The chief has died. He was the one who summoned rain, but he lost his vitality in return. He came to the bigger island and planted this bamboo forest with his hands in hope of reviving the island. He used to talk about Bai Ze a lot and called him a beam of light who will brighten others' lives. But he must learn how to do that. Bai Ze is having mixed emotions while Bifang blames him for the death of the chief. Bai Ze tries running away and ends up at the edge of a cliff. Bifang reminds him of the lives he destroyed. Bifang's arm was also cut off due to Bai Ze's reckless actions. Bifang wants to punish Bai Ze and throw him in the sea. There he meets the chief's soul who saves him from the dark spirits. Meanwhile, Huoji gathers the crowd to show how he is going to eliminate the dark spirits. Bifang brings him the scroll and Huoji starts the spell. It apparently makes the spirits disappear, but they aren't eliminated. Bai Ze reaches there and tells everyone that dark spirits are going to erupt soon. As he said, the black spirits appear again and take over Huoji. He turns into a huge monster and attacks Bai Ze and others. Huoji says that the chief always loved Bai Ze more and neglected Huoji's hard work. All he wants is to defeat Bai Ze and prove that he is better. The seniors form a protective barrier around the town, but Huoji turns into an even bigger monster and breaks the seal. Moreover, Yi is getting consumed by the dark spirit. Bai Ze uses his scroll, but it gets completely destroyed. Bai Ze doesn't give up and jumps into the dark spirits to save Yi. He gets inside the kid's mind and realizes that Yi is suffering because he never gathered courage to accept his father's death. With Bai Ze's support, Yi finally defeats his fears and revives. Bai Ze has found the weakness of the spirits. It's the light in one's heart. With the help of other doctors and the public, Bai Ze succeeds in defeating the dark spirits with the light of their hearts. All the patients are cured, including Huoji. Instead of getting angry at him, Bai Ze treats his classmate politely. Huoji never meant any harm. He just wanted his efforts to be appreciated. After a few days, the public gathers to rebuild the town once again. Bai Ze, Huoji, and other doctors can work again in the hospital. Yi still doesn't have a horn, but he has learned to get over his insecurity. The dark spirits are not eliminated yet, but the light in people's hearts has become brighter and stronger. If they see a dark spirit again, they will not get scared, and they will just say, "Goodbye, monster." A good doctor isn't the one who has the cure for all diseases. He's the one whose words and encouragement are stronger and more healing than any medicine.